but I'm taking this part completely off the ground just a little bit, and what will happen is that foot will settle, and it'll settle to straight, and it allows that foot to come back underneath his leg in a more beneficial way. I'm done with Cappel training shoeing, getting ready to trim this colt, and I don't know, has he ever had his feet trimmed? You know what?
Second time.
Second time. Be the second time he's had trim. Nick here's been handling his feet and legs, so he's taken a lot of the work out of this, so I'm able to go ahead and do my work. But so I'm gonna go ahead and reach for hind foot here, and now right here, the colt's leg is stiff, so I'm waiting on him to soften up, and when he's softened up, you see him pulling forward. So I'm going to try to walk towards this leg, and you see him relax and straighten up right there. And I've just got a hold of his toe right here. So this colt really got comfortable there, so I'm going to turn him loose. That's very important to turn him loose right there. You know, we don't want to pull them things out to where they've got to fight to take it away. If we can show them that as soon as we touch them, that there is relief coming soon. See, as soon as his foot comes up, he's stiff in the hock and in the ankle here. Now he's comfortable. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right over there and trim. So I don't have to hold it very long. I think the less time we keep one of them's foot in the air, the better. Okay, if you hand me that rasp right there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm not disturbing the sole at all. I'm trimming this hoof wall on an angle to where the hoof wall and the sole meet. That's going to be the load up what this colt's going to be standing on. See that crack right there in that quarter? Okay, so that's like a hangnail. So I've got to take that part of that foot out. I can't leave that on the ground because it'll just keep prying up. So it looks like a hole there right now, but I did that to relieve that prying effect so that little chip there can not tear away from his foot, but go ahead and grow above there down. Now I'm just kind of rounding the toe off a little bit so it doesn't chip, and just holding him real steady. Okay, that's good enough. That's a good trim. All right, let you hold the rasp again. There's that stiffness again. I'm not pushing on him here with my hand. I've got my hand there to stabilize him, and I'm letting him relax right down in there. See, letting him get comfortable right there. Then I'll come here. I'm feeling for him when he is comfortable. I want this colt to feel comfortable. I don't want him to feel like that I've just taken his leg away and not going to give it back to him. Okay, now I'll take that rasp. You have this, and again I'm just beveling that hoof wall from the sole level out just a little bit, so he's going to be loaded up right there on the white line. To get this heel here just a little bit back. Like that. You see that crack right out there at his toe? Okay, so I don't want the ground forcing that crack up higher. So I moved the brake over back to right here behind that toe. See, that crack is ahead of it. If I keep that brake over behind where that crack is, that crack will go ahead and disappear. If I keep that toe out there too long, that thing will just keep splitting every time he loads up on that foot. But just smoothing it up around there on those edges. Notice I didn't disturb the sole at all. If you take sole out, especially on these babies, they get tender. Okay, this front foot. Not much hoof wall on this front foot. He's evidently been pawing, and he doesn't have a lot on the bottom of his foot, so I'm just going to clean it up there a little bit and use the rasp. More than I thought was there. All right. When he started to move, because of that, he feels that in his knee, I gave with him. I didn't brace up and try to hold him there. I gave. See, my knees give. When I feel him give, I gotta give with him so that he doesn't fight me. See how that hoof wall's wanting to separate away from the side of his foot right there. I'm gonna just lower it. That's distortion. So I'm rasping that off on that angle, just like that, where he's going to be loaded up on his heel and the toe pillar, but no load between there. There's a split here on the inside. I'm angling that rasp off that way. I gotta lower this outside heel just a little bit. Let him walk around there. It's all right. See him trying to lean on me. I'm not going to hold him up. He might go all the way down here, but I'm not going to try to hold him up. I'll let loose just before he hits the ground, and then he'll start thinking, boy, I'm not going to lean like that again. Just want him to be comfortable. Flies are kind of chewing on him here a little bit, and he's wanting to move. So I got this about smoothed up as good as I'm going to get it. So I'm going to bring it out front. It looks like maybe there's a little bit of distortion on the side here, right here, from there down. Just going to hold him and come back to him. Put a little bend in his knee. Put a little bend in his knee. And let him stand there comfortably. The bend in the knee will keep them from trying to mash you through the ground. Yeah, boy. One more foot. Come on. Come on. Come on. Same thing over here. I'll clean that foot up and just use the rasp. Nothing says you have to use nippers. You can sneak up on where you're wanting to go with a rasp, where a nipper you're committed. And sometimes your commitment's too deep. So if you're unsure, just use the rasp. Wait on him to get comfortable, and here's that rasp go across that foot. Naturally, he's wanting to move. Stabilize him a little more. Just get that. So what am I looking for here? I'm looking for a waxy type appearance, and we've got waxy appearance right out here at the tip of the toe. So there's a space right now between where the hoof wall is and the sole. The sole's quite a bit recessed up in the foot from the hoof walls. There's a good deal of distortion right there in the quarters, so I'm just rasping that off gently. Real gently here, so I don't get into the sole of this baby's foot. Work on that heel just a little bit. Let him find a place to get comfortable here. There. When he gets comfortable, I'll address that heel backwards like this. Backwards like that. What am I thinking about here? I'm thinking about hoof. Here's the center of his foot. I'm thinking about hoof behind center, and I'm thinking about hoof in front of center. So I'm basically trimming that heel off just a little bit to get him supported back just a little bit further. But I'm taking this part completely off the ground just a little bit, and what will happen is that foot will settle, and it'll settle to straight, and it allows that foot to come back underneath his leg in a more beneficial way rather than leaving the heel too long. Around that edge off. His foot's starting to spread a little more than I'd like, so we want to keep that lamini snug to the internal structures of the foot, so that we don't get a big old flatter-footed situation that won't hold him up. All right, I think that's pretty good for a second trim. We took care of some distortion, a couple of cracks, and I think you'll be good till bring you back next time.